Welcome to the Boring Wisdom. This is the Gen Z guide on focus. So, first of all, we are changing a little bit in content. We are now creating full length educational guides. We're not just focusing on particular book summaries, but now we are moving on to the actual content like focus, productivity, journaling, and all of the different personal development, self improvement, and behavioral psychological stuff. So, the first thing that we've decided is a focus guide, especially for Gen Z, because we know that modern distractions are harder than ever before. So, this is going to be a few day guide. We're not just going to create a full length educational guide like 1 hour, 2 hour straight long. We're just going to be dividing it into 3 to 4 different parts, 10 minutes every single day, and then we're going to take it to 3 to 4 days. That's it. So, let's start by understanding what exactly is focus. This is going to be introduction to focus. So, first of all, we have to face it. Focus is harder than ever before. Between constant notifications, social media, and temptation to switch task every few minutes, you just sit down with your laptop and suddenly you're on your phone and suddenly you're reading a book. Suddenly you're thinking about something else. It feels like our brain are being pulled in thousands of different directions, all of our sides. Like your anterior cingulate cortex is on this direction, your mid cingulate cortex is this direction, and your other parts of the brain are in different directions. All of your brains are in different directions. And if you're a Gen Z, you have grown up in digital distractions, and it's hard to not get sucked into the vortex of instant gratification because thanks to social media, thanks to Instagram Reels and YouTube Shorts. So basically, study shows that our attention span has drastically dropped over the years, which makes it really hard to stay focused on single task for longer periods of time. You might have noticed this on yourself it's only. Like you sit down on your laptop and you decide to work maybe for 30 minutes, just as small as for 20 minutes. You couldn't stay focused on anything. Like genuinely, you cannot stay focused for 20 minutes without any kind of nonsense thoughts or without scrolling one reel. So, here's the thing, this doesn't mean that you are bad at focus, it just means that your brain is wired differently right now, especially with the technology around you. But here's the good part, focus can be trained, and that's exactly what we're going to work on together. So now that you understood why focus is a challenge in the digital age, we have a lot of technology around us, a lot of instant gratification technology. So let's dive into the science behind it and understand how our brain processes focus and help us tackle these distractions head on. So now let's just go a little bit into science. Our brain is essentially a powerful processing machine, and there's a part inside of it which is called as the prefrontal cortex, which is essentially responsible for decision making, goal setting, and of course, focus. The challenge is that your brain craves dopamine, the chemical that makes you feel good. That is why scrolling social media is so addictive because every like, comment, notification, all of these things gives you little dopamine hit, just little dopamine hits, all of the relatable reels that you get that relates with you, your life, your lifestyle, your thought process, everything gives you little dopamine hits that keeps you coming back for more. And the problem is, the more your brain gets used to these tiny dopamine hits, the harder it becomes to focus on long uninterrupted tasks. So while you might feel good in the short term, it's actually undermining your long term focus. But don't worry, there is a way to hack this. There's a way we can hack this. With the science in mind, let's talk about one most effective way to combat distraction, which is called as single tasking. If we understand how our brains get distracted, we can train it to focus better on one task at a time. So, the first strategy that I want you to try is single tasking. I know, it sounds really boring compared to the rush of multitasking where you're journaling, trying to meditate, and also working on your project, and also thinking about something else whilst listening to a podcast, and all of these things. Research has shown that our brain aren't designed for multitasking. We're not designed for multitasking. We might think that we are doing several things at once, but really we are switching between tasks so rapidly that we are losing our productivity. And we are doing nothing. So we are trying to do everything whilst we are doing nothing. So when you focus on one thing at a time, you give it your full attention, leading to better results in less time. So try maybe dedicating 20 to 30 minutes of uninterrupted time to a single task. Put your phone away, maybe in another room, maybe on charging, anywhere where you cannot just reach it very quick. You have to stand up or maybe go somewhere to get your phone. You have to put it that way away. So turn off notifications and just dive deep into your work. You just have to have your laptop or maybe your journal, book, or whatever that happens to be on your working on, which you're working on. Just dive deep into your work. Simple tasking is great, but even when we focus on one thing, we need a method to make sure that we stay sharp. That is where the Pomodoro technique comes in, and it breaks down things into manageable intervals, right? So giving your brain, which basically gives your brain a chance to stay energized. So basically, Pomodoro is a simple but incredibly effective way to focus, right? You work for around 20 minutes straight, and then you take a 5 minutes of small break. And after four sessions, like you continuously do that 25 minutes of work, 25 minutes of break, 25 minutes of work, followed by 5 minutes of break. And you do that four times, and then you take a longer break of 15 to 30 minutes. These short bursts of work, these short bursts of works help you maintain your attention without overwhelming you because you are taking short breaks. By working in intervals, you give your brain time to recharge and keeping it sharp, ready to tackle the next task. So, knowing that there's a break coming helps you focus on during your work period. All right, so we have got the time management strategies with Pomodoro, and one more thing, one most important thing. Whilst you're taking your 5 minutes break, don't do something which is hyper stimulating, like, say, for example, video games, social media. Maybe just sit down, maybe just sit and journal, maybe just think about the work that you're going to do in the next session, in the next 25 minutes, or just journal, or maybe stare at the wall, take a 5 minutes of walk, or go and drink water. Do anything but which is not hyper stimulating. Like, don't scroll social media, and don't play video games. That's it. Do anything other than these things, right? So you just have to understand that Pomodoro is one of the best time management strategies that you can do as a beginner. And there is another factor that can make or break your focus, your environment. So let's now take a look at how to optimize your workspace, which can take your focus to the next level. If your desk is cluttered with papers and your phone is buzzing every single time and your space is noisy, you're going to have a hard time concentrating. So start by cleaning up your workspace. A clean place, clean mind. That's it. Clean desk, clean mind, clean work, clean results. That's it. That's what I believe in. So get rid of all the distractions. Like, put your phone on DND, do not disturb, and make sure all of the things you are working on and you're working with has to be organized. All your files, all your books, all your papers, everything should be organized. And if you can, then find a quiet place to work, or maybe use noise cancelling headphones to block out the distractions. A distraction free zone helps your brain to focus on task at hand instead of constantly being pulled away by the outside stimuli. So now that we've set up a distraction free environment, it's time to think about how to structure our day. Time blocking is the first fast and perfect strategy for keeping your focus locked in whilst you work. It's all about allocating time for specific tasks. So instead of just randomly doing some task, you have to have precise given routines, precise given blocks of work. So instead of working on a task whenever you feel like, schedule dedicated blocks of time for deep work. Say, for example, set aside 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. for writing, then 11 a.m. to 12 a.m. p.m. for research, and so on. Something like that. Okay, you understood what I'm trying to say. During each block, focus solely on the task at hand. When you're working on writing, just focus on writing. Don't think about the scriptings or recording the videos or anything like that. Just focus on writing. When you're reading, just focus on reading. Don't think about YouTube analytics or your project or anything like that. Basically, time blocks help you structure your day and ensures that you are spending your time on the most important task at hand rather than getting distracted by the things that don't align with your goals. So we have got the strategy in place. And here's the thing, the essence, it is really essential to check in with yourself. Reflecting on your focus, habits, and adjusting accordingly is a game changer. in the journey to mastering focus. So, at the end of every single day, all you have to do is ask yourself, did I stay focused? What distracted me? What worked well? By evaluating your habits and adjusting based on what's working and where you can fine tune your approach to focus. All you have to do is just these things. You have to just ask yourself, did I stay focused? If not, then what distracted me? What worked really well? What helped me focus well? Was that noise cancelling headphones? Was that the environment? Was that the music? Was that my work load? Was that how I planned it? Was that the structure of the work? Anything, just write it down. By evaluating your habits, you will understand, you will get the data points that what is working. Maybe this kind of music works. Maybe this place basically works. When I drink a bunch of water before work, that works. Maybe if I fast, then that works better. Maybe if I eat and work, that works better. Maybe if I work in the day, that works better. Maybe if I work in night, that works better. All of these things, you will start to get data points on that. And you have to just remember that focus is a skill. Like any skill, it improves with practice. The more you practice these strategies, the easier it will get. So, with reflection in mind, keep improving every single day. Remember, focus is a skill that gets better the more you practice it. And speaking of the practice, tomorrow we'll dive deeper into how to stay on track and handle distraction. So make sure that you come back on the day two, which is basically tomorrow. All right, so that's a wrap up for day one of the Gen Z guide on focus. Remember, focus isn't something you either have or you don't, it's a skill that you develop. To start by using these strategies we've talked about today and see what works for you. Stick with it, and by the end of this guide, you will be able to focus much more better than how you do right now. So, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the day two, where we'll dive deeper into how to tackle distraction and stay on track. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you don't miss any update. Stay focused. See you in the next one. So, welcome back to another episode of The Boring Wisdom. This is day two of the Gen Z guide on focus. In this one, we'll be purely focusing on tackling distractions and building habits. So, without wasting any more of our time, let's start with the first concept. You cannot fight an enemy that you don't understand. So, first of all, you have to understand your distractions. You have to identify your distractions. So, before we tackle any of those distractions, you need to first identify them. Think about this. What pulls you away when you're trying to work or study? Say, for example, that you are just sitting down and trying to work on your laptop, trying to create some sort of program, trying to write a script or do your essay work or anything. What does distract you? What pulls you away from your work? Is it your phone, your surrounding, or maybe even your own thoughts? Most distractions falls into two different categories. External, like notifications or someone calling you or anything like that. All these social media and stuff. And then there is internal stuff, which is overthinking and daydreaming. So just take a moment and reflect on your typical day and pinpoint the top three things that derails your focus. Awareness is the step one in beating distractions. So now that we've identified the culprit, let's talk about how to deal with external distraction first. Then we'll move on to the internal one. These are the easiest to control when you have the right strategies in place, right? So, external distractions are the things like phone buzzing, social media notification, noisy roommates, noisy surroundings, or even clutter on your desk. In order to handle these things, you need to set boundaries. Just start with as simple as turn off your notification during your focus session, as we have talked about in the previous session. Use tools like D&D or maybe focus applications. You can go and download that from Play Store. There are hundreds of applications and dozens for free. And the third thing is create a dedicated workspace free of clutter and noise. If you think that you are not able to focus on your desk, then just switch your desk. Maybe change it by a direction or something like that. Just move your desk on the left side, right side, or do something. Just change your environment by just a little bit, because environment plays a huge role in how well you can focus. So by minimizing the distraction, you are giving your brain clarity that it needs to stay on track. So first of all, you have to understand that distractions are based on cues. Like it is like really deep as a concept. If you want to understand like the cue response reward and all of those things, there is a dedicated video on my channel on atomic habits. You can just go and understand that. So environment is purely based on cue. So all you have to do is just change your entire environment. Just change like the way everything is arranged, and you will see a huge difference in how well you can focus. So now that we've understood this trickier stuff, now let's just move on to more trickier stuff, which is called as the internal distraction. These are the thoughts and feelings that pulls you away from your work, and this requires a different approach of dealing. So internal distractions are all about what's happening inside your head, not outside your surrounding, your desk, or any of those things. Ever have you ever found yourself halfway through a task and suddenly you're thinking about something completely unrelatable? Like you're just assuming, randomly walking in a garden, holding hands with your crush or something like that. Like those all weird thoughts. That's your brain wandering. It's called as mind wandering. To tackle this, you have to try different things like mindfulness, which basically trains your brain to come back to the present moment. Just take a deep breath and refocus. This is all the basis of mindfulness. Then you can possibly try writing it down, which is called as the cognitive deloading or cognitive declutter or something like that. If you're distracted by a thought, write it down. That's it. Jot it down to revisit later. That's it. Then the third thing is positive reinforcement. When you catch yourself staying focused, reward yourself with a small break or maybe a treat. This basically allows your brain to understand that, okay, if I focus more, I'll get more treat and more breaks. And that's why I should focus. Something like that. So these are the techniques that take practice, but they'll help you regain control over your mind. So all you have to do is just understand, do mindfulness practices, do cognitive unloadings, and positive reinforcement. These are the things that will help you stop, not particularly stop, but minimize brain wandering. And why I believe and why I think that brain wandering is a bad thing, you just purely need to go on, maybe I think it's on Coursera, I'm not sure about that, just you can just go on to Google and can search for and wandering mind is an unhappy mind course, and you'll find a video, maybe it's available on Coursera, I think, I'm not sure about that. But if you watch that entire video, you'll start to understand that why am I saying these things, why do I believe that a brain wandering, mind wandering is a bad thing. So now that we have tackled the distractions, let's build some habits that naturally enhances focus over time. So in order to enhance your focus over time, you need certain habits, and habits are the backbone of focus. The things that you do every day shapes your ability to concentrate. So all you have to do is just start small. Anything that you do, just do the bare minimum of that, right? Maybe establish a morning routine that sets a focus tone for the day. So anything that you do in the morning sets the tone for the day. Say for example, you start your day with very bad productive habits. Say for example, you wake up, you scroll social media for 2 hours, and that's it. Your day is going to be trash by extension because you started your day by trash stuff. So you set a focus tone for that. So if you just start your day with something more productive, maybe reading a page of a book, just a page of a book, one page is more than enough. If you just do that, you'll set a focus tone for the day. Then the second thing is use the same workspace every time to signal your brain it's time to work. Say for example that I set a new neural pathway, which this is basically called as the neural pathway in neuroscience, that you do something. It is like a ritual or something like that. That before working, I just play a specific song or I play a specific music or I do some sort of activity before working. And if I do that for a long enough period of time, my brain will automatically create a neural pathway that, okay, if I listen to this song, my brain will automatically say that, okay, this song means we are going to work. This music means we are going to work. This activity means we are going to work. So this is how you signal your brain. Same goes with workspace, same goes with some activity or sitting. So anything, it goes with anything which is an ritual. Then the third thing is stack habits. Pair focus time with something you already do, like listening to music or maybe a cup of coffee or something like that, which is called as the habit stacking. It is also mentioned in book Atomic Habits. You could just go and read that. But if you don't want to read that, then the concept is pretty simple. Attach the habit that you want to do with something that you already do. That's it. And it makes it easier for you to perform that for a long enough period of time. So all you have to remember is consistency beats perfection. Even small regular actions can lead to huge improvements over time. So if you do, you'll do this, right? But what if you feel overwhelmed? What happens when you feel overwhelmed and lose focus altogether? That's where resetting comes in. And let's be real, no matter how much you plan, no matter how precise your plan is, no matter how good your environment is, there will be times when you lose focus, when something comes up, and you are not going to accomplish everything that you have planned. Things are not going to go as per you planned. So instead of beating yourself up, use this quick resets. Just stay away for 2 minutes and take a deep breath. Just take a deep breath for 2 minutes and then tell yourself that, okay, let's at least get something. Let's get the bare minimum from the day. Let's say, for example, that you have set up 15 tasks for the day, which I don't suggest. I just suggest you to take 2 or 3 tasks for the day. But let's assume in a hypothetical situation that you took 15 tasks for the day and you haven't accomplished anything by evening or maybe by night, and you just have 1 or maybe 2 hours before you go to bed. So take a deep breath for 2 minutes and tell yourself, let's get the bare minimum from the day. At least accomplish 1 or 2 things. That's it. Instead of beating yourself up for 2 hours and saying that you are a piece of shit or something like that, let's just bounce back quickly and take the bare minimum from the day. Then the second thing is try a brain dump by writing everything down to clear your mind. And this is really, really normal. You will have brain fog because you have destroyed your dopamine for years. You have destroyed your focus, your attention span for years by using social media, reels, and all of these things. So you will have brain fog. You will not be able to focus on things. So all you have to do is use cognitive unloading, which is called as the brain dump. Write everything down in your mind, which basically helps you clear your mind. Then the third thing is switch tasks briefly to refresh your energy. Think of these tasks as your safety nets because they'll help you to get back on track without wasting too much time. So, now that you've understood how to tackle distractions and build habits, we'll wrap up this with some key takeaways and preview what's coming for the next day 3. So, today what we have done is we basically identified our distractions, we learned how to manage them, then we explored the habits that naturally enhances our focus, then we understood that distractions are normal and they don't have to control your day. With the right strategies, you can take charge of your day. And tomorrow we'll dive deeper into flow state, the ultimate focus mode where time flies and productivity skyrockets. So make sure you come back for day 3 and let's keep building your focus muscle. So that's it for day 2 for the Gen Z focus guide. And now it's your turn to identify your distractions and start minimizing them. Experiment with building new small focus habits today. Just go into Google and can search for hundreds of different focus habits and try one at a time. That's it. That's all I would suggest. That's what I did. So if you found this video helpful, drop a comment. Make sure you hit the like button and subscribe button and hit the bell icon for more daily insights like that. And that's it. See you in the next one. So welcome to another episode of The Boring Wisdom. This is day 3 of Gen Z Guide on Focus. In this one, we'll be particularly focusing on mastering flow state. So, have you ever been so deeply involved in something that time just seemed to disappear? Like maybe you're working on a project, playing a sport, or even playing some sort of game, like online game or anything. And suddenly hours just pass by, you without even noticing it. Like that's what we call the flow state, the ultimate zone of focus where you're completely locked in with what you're doing and everything else just fades away. You have no idea about what is happening in your surroundings. You have no idea about what is happening inside of your brain. You are just so deeply involved in your work that nothing seems to matter. This flow state isn't just for athletes or maybe artists. Anyone can tap into it. But to get there, you need to create the right conditions, and that's exactly what we're focusing on today. So let's start by understanding what is the psychology of the flow. What is happening in your brain when you hit that sweet spot of focus? So, flow isn't just a random feeling, it's a psychological state. Your brain needs a balance between challenge and skill. If something is too easy, you'll feel bored and it will be really hard to focus. That's it. And the same thing goes with a hard task. If it's too hard, you'll feel stressed and you won't achieve flow. Flow happens when you are doing something that pushes you just enough to stay engaged. Not too hard, not too easy. Something like that. Okay. Then the next point is dopamine. The brain's feel good chemical. This plays a huge role in flow state. When you're in a flow, your brain releases dopamine, which basically boosts your motivation, focus, and creativity. So, the key takeaway from here is that flow isn't just about hard work, it's about working smart and finding the perfect balance. So, all you need is a piece of paper and a pen and clarity about what you're doing. Don't make the task too hard, don't make the task too easy. If you have the task that is just enough hard to make you stay engaged, then you'll achieve flow. So now that you understand what exactly is flow and how it works, let's talk about creating the right conditions to enter this state. So in order to get into flow, you need to set the stage. Think of it like preparing for a performance. Every detail matters. So how do you basically do that? The first thing is eliminate distractions. Turn off all the notifications that you have on your phone. Close all the unnecessary tabs and let people around you know that you need uninterrupted time. Tell your mom that don't call you for an hour or two. Tell your sister don't call you for an hour or two. Just tell them, let people around you know that you need uninterrupted time for just maybe hour or two. That's it. Then the second thing is set clear goals. Know exactly what you want to accomplish during your work sessions. Ambiguity can kill focus, so just focus on the things that you understand that you have to do, right? For maybe say for example 9 to 10, I'm going to do just my project work. That's it. I'm not going to read book, I'm not going to do anything else. Just focus on work, and precisely on work I'm going to do this. That's it. Then the third thing is warm up. Start with a smaller task to build momentum before diving into the main challenges. Right? It's just like workout. You do first the warm up set and then you go on to the working set. That's it. So by controlling your environment and mindset, you're making it much more easier to slip into flow. But creating the right environment isn't enough. You also need to structure your work in the way that supports flow. So that's where the deep work comes into play. And deep work, my friend, is a secret ingredient for achieving flow. This is basically coined by Carl Newport. We have already talked about in this a separate video about dedicatedly on deep work. So deep work basically is the practice of focusing intensely on high value tasks without any distractions. This is exact opposite of multitasking or shallow work. You just focus on something so deeply that you just don't have any kind of thoughts apart from your work. So how do you basically do the deep work? What is the framework of doing the deep work? First, schedule dedicated blocks of time for deep work, ideally during your most productive hours. Say, for example, you're a morning person, set your time blocks in the morning. Night person, same goes with that. Use tools like Pomodoro technique or time blocking techniques to stay on track. I usually prefer Pomodoro because it's really, really easy and it does not allow you to overwhelm. It just stops you from overwhelming yourself. Like 25 minutes of work followed by 5 minutes of break, and you do that for 4 times, and then you take a longer break. That's it. Then the third thing is protect your deep work sessions at all cost. This is sacred time for your brain. This is the time when you're most productive in your day. So try to save it at all cost. Do not compromise with it. So when you commit to your deep work, you're not just increasing your focus. You're training your brain to enter into flow more easily. And the more you practice, the more easier it becomes. So once you're in zone, staying there is the key. So let's discuss the techniques to maintain your flow for longer periods of time. So getting to flow is one thing, but staying there is a whole different challenge. It's a whole different level of challenge. But here's how you can keep the momentum going. Take micro breaks, use Pomodoro technique, or just take a pause for 2 minutes to reset your mind. Basically, I would suggest you to take Pomodoro technique 25 minutes of work followed by 5 minutes of focus. 4 times, take a longer break. That's it. Then the second thing is hydrate and fuel up. Your brain needs energy to stay sharp. Don't forget to drink water and take some healthy snacks. Don't necessarily go and like eat what was say like some nachos or anything like that. Take healthy snacks, maybe a fruit, maybe some sort of salad or something, right? Take healthy food, take healthy intake, because whatever you consume is what you produce, right? Then the third thing is embrace the rhythm. Flow comes in waves. If you feel your flow's focus slipping, gently guide yourself back instead of forcing it, right? You just have to say, okay, 2 minutes, take a deep breath, and then get back to work. That's it. Embrace the rhythm of your flow state. These tiny adjustments will help you stay in focus and stay longer into your flow, making you work more productive and more enjoyable. But here's the reality, distractions will happen. They're supposed to happen. So, how do you basically get back into flow when you're interrupted, right? So, let's talk about that. We know that even the best plans can't eliminate every single distractions. You will have distractions. You will definitely have them. But when you get pulled out of flow, don't panic. Here's how to get back on track. Take a reset break. Maybe step away for 2 to 5 minutes to clear your mind. Maybe do cognitive unloading or take a deep breath. Do mindfulness activities for 2 to 5 minutes. That's it. Revisit your goals. Remind yourself of what you were working on and why it matters a lot to you. Then the third thing is recreate your environment. If possible, reset your workspace to how it was when you started working. Like arrange everything exactly the way it was when you started working. Right? Think of these resets as the pause button for your brain. With a little practice, you'll be able to slip back into flow much more faster. One thing that you need to understand is flow isn't a one and done thing. It's a skill that gets better with practice. The more you train your brain to focus deeply, the easier it becomes to enter into the flow state. So start small. Aim for just one flow session a day. Even if it's like 20 minutes, 15 minutes, that's it. Gradually increase the time as you build your focus muscle. Remember, patience is the key. Flow basically takes a lot of practice, like months, years of practice, but the result are absolutely worth it. So, to wrap up, let's recap of what we've learned today and look ahead for the day 4. And we'll explore some focus tool up there. So, let's take a recap and review of what we have learned so far. So, basically, today we have explored the magic of flow state and how it works and how to achieve it. Basically, you have to remember that flow is all about creating the right balance between the challenge and the skill while eliminating distractions. And tomorrow, we'll dive deep into the best tools and apps for focus, from productivity tracker to digital detox aids. These tools will supercharge your ability to focus. So don't miss the day 4. That's our wrap for day 3 of the Gen Z guide on focus. Now it's your turn. Try creating the perfect environment for flow and let us know how it went in the comments. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe and hit the bell icon for more content like this. See you in the next one. So, welcome back to the Boring Wisdom. This is day 4 of the Gen Z guide on focus. So, this is purely based on the Ultimate Focus Toolkit, where we learn about all the tools that are necessary for you as a Gen Z individual to focus. So, let's first understand that why tools matter. Why do we actually need tools? Is discipline not good enough? Is environment not good enough? Is our workload not good enough? Is our all of the things that we've discussed, like the flow state, is not enough? Why we need tools? So, in today's fast paced world, distractions are everywhere, from endless notification to that tempting YouTube tab to that very interesting Instagram reel. But here's the good news, you don't have to rely solely on willpower to stay focused. The right tools can act as your productivity allies, helping you to cut through the noise and get things done. And today, we'll be building your focus toolkit, right? The apps, strategies, and physical tools that will help you in your focus game and take you to the next level. So let's dive into it. So, first of all, we'll start with the digital tools, apps that can help you reclaim your focus. The first one, Forest. This game basically amplifies your focus by letting you grow virtual trees as you work. The longer you stay focused, the bigger your forest grows. And the second thing is Cold Turkey, one of the strongest website blockers out there that I personally have used. Set it up to block distraction sites for your work hours. Say, for example, that I don't want to use Facebook between 9 to 11. That's my focus block. So I'll just basically block facebook.com, instagram.com, and all of these websites. So even if randomly some thought pop up on my mind or maybe some notification I got from a message on Facebook, it will just block that particular notification. It will just not allow me to visit Facebook from 9 to 11. This is how basically it works. Then the third thing is Notion, one of my personal favorites. I highly recommend you to use Notion. This is a powerful tool for organizing your tasks, notes, and projects all in one place. Then the fourth and last thing is Focus at Will. It basically boosts your concentration with scientifically curated background music tailored to your work style. So I highly recommend you to just go and try Focus at Will too. These tools are like having a digital bodyguard, basically for protecting your focus. But it's not just about apps, it's also about your physical environment that plays a huge role. So now let's understand some physical tools for focus that will basically create a distraction free workspace. So, my friends, your environment can either make or break your focus. So, let's discuss some basic tools that will help you optimize your workspace. The first one is noise cancelling headphones. This basically allows you to block out all the distractions with your headphones, and it lets you focus on your work. So, all you need is a simple productivity playlist or maybe some funk songs. Basically, I prefer to lo fi, but you can go with anything that helps you focus. Then the second thing is Pomodoro timer. A physical timer can help you practice time management using a Pomodoro technique. If you don't have a physical timer, then you can just open a YouTube tab or search for some Pomodoro timer or something. There will be hundreds of timers available online right now. We have access to all of these things. Basically, Pomodoro works pretty simple: 25 minutes of focus, followed by 5 minutes of break. You do that 4 times, and then you take a longer break of 15 to 30 minutes. Simple. Then the third thing is whiteboard or sticky notes. Basically, visual tools helps you a lot when it comes to having clarity about what you're doing. And if you have a clarity about what you're doing, you will get it done, right? A lot better than if you have like everything memorized in your head. Just have something which you can see like in front of your mind, in front of your eyes, sorry. Then the fourth thing is desk organizer. A clutter free desk equals to a clutter free mind. All you need is a desk organizer. And desk organizer doesn't mean a robot or something. You need to organize your desk. Basically, that's the basis of it. So by combining all these digital and physical tools, you can create a workspace that supports your focus instead of fighting against it. All you need is a clear phone, a clear desk. That's it. And you'll have a clear mind. So now let's just talk about some techniques and strategies that contemplate your tools. The first one is the Eisenhower matrix. You might have heard about this. If you are into productivity for good enough time, like 2 months, 6 months, or something like that, you might have used even the Eisenhower matrix. This basically prioritize your task by urgency and importance. You can go into Google and can go into images part and search for the Eisenhower matrix, and you'll be able to see, like you'll just see and understand what the basis of Eisenhower matrix is. Then the second thing is the 2 minute rule. If something takes less than 2 minutes, do it immediately. Say, for example, I have five priorities for the day, and there are certain things like write an email or make a call or read this email or check this particular thing or something like that. So if I think that writing an email would take less than 2 minutes or making a call would take less than 2 minutes, then I would do it immediately. I just don't want my list to be too big. I want it to go as short as possible, right? So if something takes less than 2 minutes, do it immediately. Then the third thing is time blocking. Schedule every part of your day to reduce your tension, decision fatigue. All you need is to decide the time blocks that you're going to dedicate to a particular task. Say, for example, 9 to 11, I'm going to work on this project. Then after 12 to 3, I'm going to read this book. 3 to 6, I'm going to just do this particular thing. Just give and dedicate your time to dedicative task. That's it. The fourth thing is batching. Group similar tasks together to stay in the same mental mode. Say, for example, that I'm going to practice maybe lead code, or I'm going to practice this particular competitive computer science exam, and then I'm gonna switch on to my business project or like a project or client work or something like that. So all you have to is batch similar task, basically something which is very similar to each other, like coding a project and learning how to code. All of these things, they go hand in hand, so batch them together to keep you in same mental mode. It goes with the rhythm, right? So basically, using these strategies like these alongside your focus tools creates a powerful system that's greater than the sum of its part. So now the next thing is you need to tame your notifications. So notifications are a productivity killer. So all you can do is take back some control. Turn off the non-essential alerts. Go into settings and disable notifications for the app so that aren't critical. Say for example, Instagram. Who receives a business notification on Instagram? We don't. We receive reels and nonsense messages. So turn off that. Turn off Snapchat. We just receive random snaps of dogs, toilets, and sometimes even buildings or shadows or things like that. So basically, turn off Snapchat, turn off Instagram, and all of those nonsense applications that just sends you random notifications. Then the second thing is use focus mode. Most smartphones have built-in modes to silence the distractions during work sessions. Or if you don't have that, then just turn on do not disturb mode when you're working. That's it. Then the third thing is set specific check-in times. Only check your emails or social media scheduled time. Say for example, from 9 to 10, I'm going to scroll Instagram, and that's it. Just dedicate your time to scrolling Instagram. This is your free time, and you are going to just dedicate yourself to destroying yourself. That's it. That's the basis of it. So these digital distractions don't have to rule your life. You have to set some boundaries about using them. So not every single tool in this given list, not every single strategy that is given in the list works for everyone. That's why it is important to build a personalized focus toolkit. So experiment, try different apps, techniques, and setup to click to see what basically clicks. You have to just go on to Google and search for hundreds of things. Go on to ChatGPT and try for all of the applications. Just search for more and more applications, search for more and more techniques, search for more and more setups that you can try, and just do experiment with hundreds of things, and then only you'll be able to identify what works best for you. But the second thing is track results. If you don't know where you are, you're lost. That's it. Notice which tool basically helps you better in terms of work, in terms of productivity, in terms of getting things done quickly and better, and which basically doesn't. Then the third thing is refine your toolkit. Keep what works and ditch what doesn't. That's it. So your focus toolkit is a living system that basically evolves as you do. You evolve, your system evolves. So make it work for you, not the other way around. So the actionable step for this particular episode is you need to turn knowledge into action. Choose one digital tool from today's list and start using it. Or maybe just go on to Google, ChatGPT, Gemini AI, or Perplexity AI or something like that, and try to find some sort of tool and put into your today's list. That's it. Just you will use it today. Any of the digital tools that you have learned. Then the second thing is add one physical item to your workspace that will help you boost your focus. And the third thing is test new strategies like time blocking, Eisenhower matrix, or maybe elimination, or that there was hundreds of concepts. So by the end of today, you will have at least one new focus tool or habit in place. Okay, so let's take a quick recap of today's episode, what we have explored so far. So today we explored the ultimate focus toolkit, from apps like Forest, Cold Turkey to physical tools like noise cancelling headphones and desk organizer. And tomorrow we'll take it to a step further, like mindfulness techniques to enhance your focus, and you'll learn how to practice things like meditation, breathing exercises that will help you stay calm, centered, and raise a sharp focus. So don't miss the day 5. And that's it for day 4 of the Gen Z guide on focus. Now it's your turn. Try out the tools and strategies we have covered today and let us know what worked best for you in the comments. If you enjoy the series, then make sure you hit the like button and subscribe for more content like this, and see you in the next one. So, welcome to the day 5 of Gen Z guide on focus. So, today we'll be particularly just focusing on mastering mindfulness for focus. So, without wasting our time, let's first understand why mindfulness matters a lot when it comes to focus. So, focus in itself isn't just about cutting out distractions, it's about being fully present in the moment. That's what mindfulness is. It's all about the practice of bringing your attention to the present moment without any judgment, without any random thoughts, without your mind wandering. So, why does this matter for focus? Like, why do we need to stay in the present? Why do we need to bring our attention to present moment? Because when your mind wanders, whether it's about the past regret, the things that you did in the past, or the procrastination on all of the mistakes that you've done, or maybe the future worries, like what if this won't work, or this, that, and all of these future worries. When your mind wanders in those areas or any area of your life, you lose touch with what you're doing right now. And studies show that practicing mindfulness can basically improve your concentration, reduce stress, and even boost your problem solving ability. So, mindfulness activities isn't just for saint, it isn't just for monks. It helps you improve your concentration, reduce stress, and even boost your problem solving ability. So, if you want to become an entrepreneur, fantastic. You have got mindfulness. So now that we understand that mindfulness in itself is a fantastic daily discipline that we must have. But how do we start this? Let's start with something very simple yet powerful. Your breathing, right? Your breath. That's it. When you're stressed or distracted, your breathing becomes shallow, signaling your brain that something is wrong. And this makes it harder to focus. So, let me give you a quick technique to try. So, close your eyes and take a deep breath through your nose for 4 seconds. Then hold it for 4 seconds and exhale slowly through your mouth for 6 seconds. I'm going to repeat this entire technique. Listen to it really carefully. Close your eyes and take a deep breath from your nose for 4 seconds, right? Then hold your breath for 4 seconds and then exhale slowly from your mouth for 6 seconds. This technique is called as box breathing. It is proven method to stay calm, and it helps you calm your nervous system and reset your focus. So whenever you feel overwhelmed, distracted, or you find yourself mind wandering, just do this. This is called as the box breathing. If you haven't understood the concept, you can just go on to Google or find any other YouTube video that is dedicated to it. But in order to do meditation, you have to put your big fat ego aside of thinking that meditation is for monks. It isn't. It's a focus boosting tool that anyone can use. Think of it like a gym for your brain. Basically, it's a muscle that you train. So, by practicing meditation, you're training your mind to notice when it wanders and bring it back to the task at hand. So, here's a simple way to get started. Sit comfortably and close your eyes. Focus on your breathing, right? Focus on your breathe. Notice the sensation of air entering and leaving your nose. Just try to bring your attention to the breath, right? When you feel when your mind inevitably wanders, gently bring your attention back to your breath. That's it. You just have to focus on your breath. Feel the air going through your nose and going down to your stomach, then exhaling it from your stomach to your mouth. That's it. Just feel it. Even just 5 to 10 minutes a day of mindfulness activities as simple as meditation can make a huge difference in the ability to concentrate, in your ability to concentrate. So we need meditation to increase our focus. And let me give you something that you might not have expected: gratitude. This basically helps you improve your focus. So when you focus on what you're grateful for, your brain shifts out of the stress mode and goes into the calmer and more positive state. So try the simple exercise that I'm going to give you. At the start and end of your day, write down 3 things that you're grateful for. They can be small, as like you did something very simple, like you opened up a book, or maybe you started working on a project. You just created the file and you're grateful for it. That's it. Don't be grateful for random nonsense things like I woke up, I have a family, and I'm grateful for it. I'm grateful that I have legs or something like that. No, don't be grateful for bullshit stuff. Just be grateful for the things that you have done. Be grateful for the discipline that you have. Be grateful for watching this YouTube video and thinking and trying to improve yourself. Just be grateful for those things that you do, not for the things that you have. Like you have, it's kind of like you understand what I'm trying to say. Don't be grateful for your legs or hands or your hair or something like that. Be grateful for the things that you have accomplished. This basically helps you in the long term to stay disciplined. Then the second thing is reflect on why these things matter to you. So by practicing gratitude, you're training your brain to stay focused on the positive stuff rather than the negative stuff, which basically helps you improve your mood and stay on track. So for how long I have to meditate? Maybe an hour, two, three. How long I have to do my mindfulness activities? So the answer is you don't need to dedicate an hour to mindfulness. Sometimes it's just as small as 5 minutes. That that's all it takes, right? It's called as the micro mindfulness. It's about weaving mindfulness into your daily routine. It's about just being present in the moment. Say, for example, while drinking your morning coffee, focus on the taste and warmth of the drink rather than just thinking about nonsense stuff like why sun is red and not yellow right now. Don't think like bullshit like that. Just stay present at the moment. During a walk, pay attention on the sensation of your feet hitting the ground. When switching tasks, take a deep breath and reset your focus. These little moments of mindfulness add up, help you stay grounded and focused throughout the day. And this basically keeps the tone for the day. So now it's time to leverage a little bit of technology into your game. Technology isn't just a distraction. Sometimes it can be a support for your mindfulness practice. So let me give you just few tools to explore. First is Headspace, a guided meditation tailored to focus your stress relief. Just go onto Google and can search for Headspace and you'll find all of the stuff that you need. Then the second thing is Calm. This basically offers you mindfulness exercises and breathing techniques and even sleep aids. So leverage these apps. And the third thing is, third, one of my personal favorites is Insight Timer, a free app with thousands of meditation sessions. Just go onto Play Store or App Store, whatever you use, and just explore these things. And maybe you can even find more of these applications. I just am familiar with these three applications: Headspace, Calm, and Insight Timer. So basically, use these tools to build a daily mindfulness habit that works best for you. So, the actionable step for this particular episode is that you are going to try the box breathing technique for just 2 minutes. Just 2 minutes. That's it. Or maybe pause the video and do it right now. And the second thing is spend 5 minutes meditating. Just focus on your breath. That's it. Focus on your breath. If you just find yourself mind wandering, just get yourself back and focus on your breath. That's it. And the third thing is write down three things that you're grateful for. The things that you've learned from this video, or maybe the discipline that you've carried out, the things that you've done for the day, all of these things. Just write down three things that you're grateful for. Start small and build from there. Remember that mindfulness isn't about being perfect. It's about being present in the moment. It's about being present with what you're doing. So let's wrap up this video. Let's talk about some key takeaways. So today we explored how mindfulness can transform your ability to focus from breathing techniques to gratitude practice. These tools will help you stay present and eliminate all the distractions. But my friend, this is not the end. This is just the beginning. Mindfulness is not something that you do for maybe 10 days, 20 days, 30 days, a month, 2 months. It's a lifelong practice that continues to grow and evolve. So keep building on what you have learned and watch your focus and productivity soar. So that's a wrap up for day 5 for Gen Z Guide of Focus. I hope these mindfulness strategies help you stay present and boost your productivity. If you enjoyed this series, make sure you comment something and maybe hit the like button and subscribe for more content like this. And tomorrow is going to be the last episode of this Gen Z Guide on Focus, the day 6, where we are going to wrap up this entire series. So make sure you watch that. See you in the next one. So, welcome back to another episode of The Boring Wisdom. This is day 6 of Gen Z Guide of Focus. And also, this is the last episode where we'll take you to your peak performance. So, before jumping into your peak performance and figuring out where does that point lie for you, let's first understand what exactly is peak performance. You have to first define your peak performance. What is your best self? What is your most advanced self right now, as per your level right now? As you go forward in life, your level will increase. But for now, what is your peak performance? What is your best possible self right now? So let's just get some clarity. So, first of all, we are going to be discussing a lot of different strategies throughout this episode. But before we dive into strategies, let's take a moment to define what exactly peak performance looks like for you. Is it excelling in academics? What is peak performance for you? Is it excelling in your academics or your work or whatever that happens to be? Like crushing your goals, mastering a new skill? Peak performance isn't about doing everything, it's about doing the right things exceptionally well, right? You just understand that you have to be master of one thing. You don't necessarily have to be the jack of all trade. You just have to be really, really good at something. You don't necessarily have to do everything. That's not what peak performance is. Peak performance isn't like you are doing sales, you're doing coding, you're doing this, all of these things. No. Peak performance is basically you're performing at the peak level at something, not all of the things. So all you need is just some priorities. So take 5 minutes today to write down top three goals of your life. What's most important to you right now and for the long term? So once you've identified those, you can focus all your energy onto achieving those particular goals. Because clarity is the foundation for peak performance. You just need three goals, not more than that. If less, then that's fantastic. That's fantastic if you have lesser goals, but not more than three. Then the second thing is the rule of 1% improvement. This is one of my favorite and most powerful concepts. The rule of 1%. The idea is simple. Aim to just get better 1% every single day. Over time, these small improvements compound into massive results. That's it. Now, how do you actually calculate your 1%? So just take a random guess, like how much 1% of maybe 10 reps actually is. Maybe you can increase the time under tension, or maybe you can increase your control. Maybe you can do reps with more stretch, or maybe more eccentric, more concentric, or these kind of things. You have to just focus on the little parts, and that's how you improve 1% every single day. So if you want to improve your focus, start by dedicating extra 5 minutes of deep work every single day, or maybe start meditating more often, like 3 minutes more, 2 minutes more, a minute more, 30 seconds more, even. If you want to be healthier, you take stairs instead of elevator. These small little steps consistently, if done consistently, creates massive results over time. And they also builds momentum that leads to long-term success. So the things are pretty simple, right? Whatever you do, you have to do it for the long term. Even if you're running, you have to do for the long term. You have to practice for the long term, right? But you can't be at your best if you're constantly running on empty. So you need something inside of you. Maybe rest, maybe food, fuel, whatever that happens to be. So here comes the concept of rest and recovery. Rest and recovery are really, really essential components for peak performance, more than you can imagine. Think of it like working out. You push harder, then you rest, so your muscles grow stronger. If you don't rest, your muscles actually lose gains. Like this is a lot, this goes a lot into scientific like muscle building and everything, but that actually is true. You need rest and you need to take some time to recover. So here's how you do it. Like just take 7 to 8 hours of sleep every single night, and most probably at least 6 hours, not less than that. You're not some owl, or you're not some freaking superhuman or something like that. You're not Batman. So at least 6 hours of sleep. Take short breaks during the day to recharge, maybe a small nap or maybe mindfulness practices. Then the third thing is schedule downtimes where you are completely unplugged from your work and study. In these moments, just read a book or maybe go out on a walk or just sit down and actually journal or something like that. Just create a downtime where you're not working, studying, or anything. You're just sitting and giving your mind time to relax. So, all you have to understand is rest isn't a weakness, my friend. It's a strategy to sustain excellence. So now we have sought out our priorities, three priorities for the day, and now we have taken the rest and we are now recovered. So the third step now is visualization. See it to achieve it. Elite athletes performs great performers, like even in the game of coding, writing, speaking, whatever you say. Swear by visualization technique to reach their peak. All of them. You just read Think and Grow Rich. You can go and read The Power of a Subconscious Mind, The Secret, whichever book you pick from the entire world, which is based on like visualization or any kind of like manifestation or anything. All of the peak performers, athletes, all of them says that they saw it before they achieve it. That's it. So all you need is some visualization. You need to see it before you achieve it. So close your eyes and imagine yourself achieving your goal in a vivid detail. Every single thing has to be detailed, from the dates to the color of clothes you're going to wear, to the event that you're going to go, to the place where you're going to receive the trophies or the certificates or anything like that, how much money you're going to make, which car you're going to buy, what color you're going to buy it for, which showroom, all of these things. Like, you have to see every single thing in detail. Picture every step of the process from preparation to execution. If you're creating a project, just see it all, from marketing to getting the sales and like actually receiving the money, and like spending it on a dinner or something, a wedding or something like that, and all of these things. You just have to picture every single step of the entire process, and the process is your life. Feel the emotion of success, pride, excitement, fulfillment. Just feel it. Just let your mind, let your subconscious mind believe that it's done, and it will be done. So, this practice basically primes your brain for success and helps you focus on the action needed to achieve your goals. So, spend some just 2 minutes a day on visualizing your peak performance. So, now that we have taken out our priorities, that what we're going to work on, we have taken the rest, recovered, visualized. Now it's time to actually start working. So, how you start your day often determines how the rest of it will go. So, basically, you start your day with Instagram scrolling, you start your day with some junk, weird habit, then it will follow the tune. That's just how it goes. You start your day with some good habit, your day will go good. If you start your day with bad habits, your day will go bad. That's it. That's how it works. It goes hand in hand. So, here's the simple framework that will help you create a focused morning routine for peak performance. So, basically, wake up at the same time every single day. Do not just fluctuate. Maybe some days you wake up at 4, some days you wake up at 8, some days you don't even wake up in morning, you wake up in evenings or something like that. So just wake up every single day at the same time. Then spend 5 to 10 minutes planning your day, your top 3 priorities for the day. Just 3 priorities, not more than that, and not even less than that. Just 3 priorities. That's it. Then the third thing is do something that energizes your body. Basically, that can be exercises or meditation. And exercises, that means you can do maybe cardio, jogging, yoga, or even gym sessions. That's a fantastic one. Or if you are into sports, do boxing or anything like that. But make sure you energize yourself by some sort of physical activity. So, by starting your day with some sort of intention, when you see that you are going to do this particular thing in your day, and then you start end your day with energy, then it will follow the tune. You'll more likely to stay focused and productive throughout your day. Now, the problem is, how do you actually go out of your decision fatigue? So, when you have top 3 priorities for the day, now you're sitting down and wondering, like, what do I have to keep for my priorities of the day? When should I work out? When should I do this? When should I do that? And all of these things. When you start to go on to these self improvement habits, when you start to go on to this route of improving yourself, you will have this decision fatigue, because now you are taking decisions on every single thing that you're doing, right? You're taking decisions like what to eat, what not to eat. You're just standing at a food stall, and now you're making a decision that whether to eat this or not. Then you're just making a lot of, like, thousands of thoughts inside of your mind every single day. And when you are making more and more thoughts and more decisions every single day, you are draining your mental energy, and that's why you are so tired every single day for the entire day. So, how do you actually go out of this decision fatigue? So, first of all, every decision you make throughout your day drains your mental energy. That's why it is called as decision fatigue. So, in order to combat it, you have to simplify everything that you do. Simplify your wardrobe to avoid spending too much time choosing your outfit. Just put every single thing in a manner, like Monday this shirt, Tuesday this, Wednesday this. Just have it in order. That's it. Or maybe wear every single day the same clothes, like Steve Jobs, Mark Zuckerberg. Why do they wear same clothes? Are they humble? No. They are just getting out of the decision fatigue. They don't want to make decisions about what shirt to wear. Just wear every single day the same color. That's it. Then the second thing is plan your meal in advance to eliminate daily food decisions. So just decide that you're going to eat this on this particular day, or you are going to eat the same meal every single day for the week. That's actually a little bit boring. So maybe you just need a simplified meal program or something like that, a diet or something. Then the third thing is use a to-do list to prioritize your task to reduce the mental load of figuring out what exactly to do next. So all you do is before night, sit down and actually plan three priorities for the day and the things that you're going to do tomorrow. Maybe you're going to go with a friend or meet this guy or do this particular thing, and all of these events in a to-do list and also your priorities for the day. That basically helps you understand that okay, these are the things that I'm going to do, so I don't have to take any mental load on that. So the less mental clutter you have, the more energy you can have towards your goal. Whew. It's really unlikely that you'll achieve perfection in the first few weeks, in the first few months, or in the first few years. Peak performance, I think, isn't just about being perfect. It's about growing and improving every single time that you do it. Every single time that you write down your three priorities and you actually achieve them, you actually complete them, you are getting a little bit better, 1% better, and you don't actually become the best. You just become better. That's where the growth mindset comes in. The growth mindset is about becoming better. It's not about some goal. It's all about the journey. So instead of avoiding the challenges that you'll face along the way, or instead of thinking that, okay, this is the goal, this is the place, this is the destination that I was aiming for, and I'm here, embrace the journey, embrace the opportunities to learn, embrace the failures, embrace the feedback, and just keep on improving yourself. So whenever you feel stuck, ask yourself, what can I learn from the situation? How can I improve? How can I go forward? What is the next opportunity? How can I improve next time? So by focusing on progress, by focusing on your journey, not perfection or destination, you'll unlock your true potential, and that will help you keep moving forward. So your actionable step for this particular episode is that you have to just do four things. Write down three priorities for the day and review them daily. Like every single day, you have to have three priorities for the day. Say, for example, reading 10 pages of this book. Then I'm going to work maybe an hour on this project, or maybe I'm going to do this particular thing on this project. Be clear. Clarity is the key. So I'm going to create the authentication, or maybe I'm going to do like the messaging system by Regis or whatever that happens to be. You just have to be clear about the thing that you can do, right? Three priorities for the day and complete them. Try to complete them every single day. Just focus on these priorities. Rest of the stuff, bullshit. That's it. Then the second thing is identify one area to improve by 1% and take action today. Say, for example, if it's gym, you cannot like increase one rep every single session. Maybe not, but also you cannot increase like 1 kg weight every single time, but maybe you can increase the time under tension. Maybe you can increase the eccentric and concentric leg stretch. Maybe you can increase the reps. Maybe you can increase maybe you can better your form or something like that. So all you have to do is identify one area where you can improve 1%. Then the third thing is plan your morning routine for tomorrow to start focus. Just plan a routine. Every single thing has to be detailed, like your to-do list, your morning ritual, or anything. Every single thing has to be defined. Then the fourth thing is try a 2-minute visualization exercise for a next big goal. Whatever you want, just visualize achieving it, having it, right? Act as the person you want to become, and you will become that person. So peak performance isn't achieved overnight. It's built through consistent effort. Start small, stay consistent, and watch yourself grow. Ooh. So over the past 6 days, we have explored strategies to master focus and unlock your true potential. And all you have to remember is focus isn't one-time achievement. It's a lifelong skill. So keep practicing, keep learning, keep growing. As you move forward, revisit these strategies, and whenever you feel distracted and overwhelmed, rewatch this entire series. It's free on YouTube. Like you can just rewatch it, or maybe you just can take some notes whilst watching this. So you can just take a brief look at the notes and you'll understand what exactly this entire episode is based on. So you won't waste any time. So here this entire series end with 6 episodes. See you in the next series. I hope you learned something new.